Is it too high? Can you hear me? Oh, it's... Hello? Can you hear me? I'm just waiting for everyone to jump into the call. I know Andy has his live right now. My first target on Bitcoin is obviously 39,000 right now. Okay, great. But it's 39,000 at the moment. But if we're gonna break that, obviously that's something that we do have to wait and see. I haven't been looking at the charts today, so this is actually the first time. I've just been looking kind of fast through my phone, so you're gonna be with me when I'm analyzing the market from the beginning. And I'm looking down at my phone because that's where I see the comments. So I hope everyone is really, really good. And if you're looking at the weekly, today it's 8 hours left. Yeah, we can definitely come back down to 39,000 during the day. I mean, it's a couple of hours left. But if you saw my live, my video since yesterday, I was talking about on Bitcoin that I did not believe that we were supposed to go up. We were continuing to the downside. As you can see, we do have the wick right here, and the market is just in between everything. So usually the market comes to a resistance zone or a... I'm so sad my 20 bucks got stolen by the sharp rise in a white. Oh. So when the market is in between everything, it usually needs to come to a support or resistance zones, and the closest resistance zone we do have right now is around 38 and 39,000. So obviously that's something the market will just might come to. And it looks like that. So I'm just gonna wait for a couple of more people to get into the call. I don't know if... We can see everything just goes down. So when we're looking at Bitcoin right now, we are definitely coming back down to 39,000, and oh, definitely. I mean, we will just have to wait and see. But that's the target that I have on Bitcoin. And after that, obviously, we will see if the market will break to the downside or if it will bounce off of this support. And after that, we'll see if it's going to continue into the upside or to the downside. But we are slowly going down. Looking at the 4-hour, obviously we need to find other areas where the market can come to, and this is definitely an area. I mean, you do have support and resistance zones on everything, on every time frame. So that's why we are using those time frames to see, or we're using different time frames, so it's easier for us to see what the candlesticks is giving us. So I'm always jumping in between everything. So since yesterday, we did have, this was something that I did talk about. We did have this previous resistance since before. And oh, hello, Singapore. Oh, now everyone's getting into the call. Hello, everyone. I've been waiting for you. I'm so happy to see you guys. If you do not know who I am, my name is Natalie. I'm from Sweden. And I've been doing trading for almost 5 years now. And it's funny to see a lot of people doing it, and we can talk about it and communicate and see what the heck is going on these charts. Because sometimes it can be very, very confusing. But I'm gonna try to help you if there's something that you're wondering. So we are right now looking at Bitcoin, and as I told you guys in the beginning of this live, when there was not a lot of people in it, yesterday's video that I was talking about, I was pretty sure about we are not supposed to go up. We are coming down based off this wick right here and the candlestick, and that's something that we are actually doing. So that's good. But why? Because when the market is this volatile. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't even know how to pronounce your name, but thank you so much. I love T8 channels too. Just have to see. But obviously right now we are okay, Marcus, we're speaking in English here. But it's very fun to see someone that's Swedish here too. Hey Marcus, är det bra eller? I'm very good, guys. But I'm gonna look at Bitcoin first, and after that we'll look at we're looking at Ethereum, and we'll see where the target can be at Ethereum too. And obviously we can go through some other pairs if there's something that you wanna look at. But we're starting with Bitcoin, obviously, and we did have this resistance. No, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, we had this resistance since yesterday that the market break. It never came back up and retested it on the higher time frames, but you could see definitely when it broke it. So this happened. So the market came up. It gave us the wick. Hi Embrace, I'm so happy Andy suggested you to get here. I hope you had a good live with Andy. Andy's very, very good at what he's doing, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from him. But the market did break this previous resistance, came back up and retested it, and then it just continued to the downside. And that was something that I did talk about, and it's doing it. And as I told you before, guys, I haven't looked at the charts today. So today is actually, you're going to be with me when I'm starting from the beginning. And just let's see. I want to look at the lower time frames and see. So the target is obviously 39,000 on Bitcoin. But until we are coming to that area, it's obviously a lot of other things that will happen in between. And we do have this huge candlestick right now that's been going on. It's 45 minutes left on this 4 hour candle. So what we're looking for obviously is sell opportunities because the market is continuing to the downside. But if I'm selling the market, obviously I'm not selling when the market is this low. I have to have the market coming up to a previous resistance or retesting a previous support zone. We have the London session right here. So I always jump in between different time frames because that makes me more sure about what's going on. And we do have, let's see. So we do have this huge support right here. So I think the market will continuing down. And when it comes to 40682, I do believe we will bounce off of that because you can see at that area we've been here a couple of times before. But if we are finding a sell opportunity, we could definitely have 40679 as our first target. And also remember, always remember, it's your responsibility if you're taking a trade off of my my zones. So everything we all should take responsibility of the trades that we are taking. I just want you to make sure you understand that, but I do believe you do. So if the market decides to come up and retest an area, I do believe a good target to come up to is this Fibonacci level at 42024. If the market decides to come up again, obviously, and retest it. And if the market comes to this area, we want rejection. So we just don't want the market to just continue to the upside. We want the market to have dojis. And the best thing that we can have, if it's looking something like this. So the market came back, continued to the downside, came back up again and retested it and closed below. So that's something that we want on the lower time right here too. So if the market decides to come up, that's what we want, 2 touches. So 1 touch, 2nd touch, and then we are, if I see that the market is if we do have dojis and we can see that we don't have so much power to the upside, I'm selling at the 2nd leg in the Fibonacci level that I was talking about. And the Fibonacci level is in between 42051 and 41950. So that's a target for me if I want to sell the market. Obviously, it's gonna take some time before the market comes up to that area, or it can take like 4 minutes also if the market just decides to come up there. But I don't believe that's gonna happen. And my first target will be 41277. My next target will be 40795. And if you want to go for the long run, you can have it on 39,000 or 38,000. So that's definitely a target for me. But always remember that when we are coming to the zones, and if you want to sell the market, we need rejections on it. So we don't want a market, even if the market came back down here, we don't want a candlestick looking like this. That's no confirmation at all that the market it's on its way to the downside. But this is what I see on Bitcoin, and on the overall picture on Bitcoin, we have to come back down to this support, previous resistance that we did have on 39,000. And after that, I do believe that we will, if the market comes here, the possibility to just consolidate for a while, that I do believe that's something that can happen, because you can see when the market is moving, when the market is just moving like this. Oh, wrong. When you see market moving, you can see that we did obviously went up for a couple of weeks right here, and after that the market just continuing to, it was just consolidating for a time. The market spiked to the downside, and after that obviously the market needs to just relax for a while, and after that we are spiking up and we are spiking down. So the possibility for us to just have a slow market before it if it decides to continue into the upside, because as you can see on the, we can take the Fibonacci level from the low to the high, and I always use Fibonacci. So if and you can see that we did have the wick to the Fibonacci levels that we do have. So this could be our lower high on Bitcoin if we're looking at the weekly. And after that, if we see some dojis, we could definitely see a new higher high. So for people panicking that the market is going down, don't understand why, because the market needs to do its pullback. You can see on the lower time frames that we always have pullbacks. It doesn't matter on what where we are going. You can see right here that we do have this uptrend. You have this huge you have the high right here. The market comes back down, make a lower low. It didn't break the previous high, but looking at the higher time frames, that's not the high that we're looking for. This was the high because it was almost at that area. Hello everyone, I'm very good. I can do a video about scalping. Yes, sure about that. I can do it. Of course. Because we on different time frames, obviously we have different trends. You can see that if you are scalping, if you are a scalper, you obviously not looking at the weekly time frames. It could be sometimes that could be good because you need to know where you are at the chart. If you are at a key resistance on the daily, obviously you need to know that, because otherwise you can get faked out, or not even that, you're just looking at the wrong direction on the market. But when you're a scalper, I mean, you look at the lower time frames, and the best thing that you can do when you're trading is that you're using minimum 3 time frames to look at, because if you're looking at the 4 hour, it's showing you like the big picture. Looking at the 1 hour, we're like, you know, but you're taking your entry maybe off of the 15 minutes. So you're just cutting everything down to pieces and trying to figure out where the market is heading, but where can you find your entries? Because that's the most important thing. Where's the entry? And for scalping, I mean, the lowest time frame that I can go into is sometimes 3 minutes. Sometimes 3 minutes, but not that much. But I usually use 15 minutes and 5 minutes. That's what I use. I can look at the 1 minute too, but it's so many things that happens, and no, I don't, stress me out. So I don't scalp that much. I'm just trying to find very good entries, looking at the higher time frames. I did scalp more before, but after a while I was just like, hey, I mean, it depends on what the market is doing. So you can, if we are in a downtrend like we are right now, and you see the pullback, that's a good way to scalp. It's very good scalping the pullback. I mean, it's a lot. You can, it can be very, very good. But I was talking about yeah, I kind of don't remember what I was talking about right now. Sorry about that, guys. But you can see right here that we are at this support. I took the support from the 12 hour. But I do believe that we will continue to the downside. But if the market comes back up here, you see you have the high, you have the lower low, and then you have the maybe you have the next lower high on the 15 minutes, and that's where I can take my entry of via at Ace. And someone wanted me to look at Ethereum. And that is just the same thing. We are just going down, obviously. And looking at the weekly on Ethereum, you also have the wick. It just looks the same as as Bitcoin, but the target the market can come back down to is around 2,700, because that's the previous resistance that we did have. So that's a good target to look at. And after that, obviously, we need to see what the market is doing at that area. And can take these away. We did have this bearish triangle or flag, or you want to call it, that we did have. It did break it and retested it on the 15 minutes. You can see, broke it, came back up, retested the support, and then it did continue to the downside. We want to see where we can have our targets right here. And that's the same thing. I'm taking the Fibonacci from 2940 to the low, and that's 2861. So if we see the market coming up back to the Fibonacci level that I'm having, because I always use Fibonacci. It's like the best thing in the whole world. I love it. Some people don't use it. Everyone's using different tools. Everyone's using different tools. And someone told me that Bitcoin doesn't respect Fibonacci. Well, we all have different opinions and different ways of seeing the market. I use Fibonacci. For me, it works. And if it doesn't work for someone else, I mean, we just see the market different ways. But if we are looking at Ethereum, and we will want to have or I want to have that's true. That's true. So we want the market to come up here, and then we have our rejections. We have our candlestick patterns telling us we are not continuing to the upside. We are stopping here. We're not going to continue more. We're selling the market. I'm selling the market. And then we'll have our targets. And when I'm looking at targets, I'm using the higher time frames. Only fibs. Some guy, I think a lot of us know, he started to do thumbnails, and he wrote only fibs. Natalie only fibs. I thought that was pretty funny. You have to have a sense of humor, especially when you're sitting at the market like this, because sometimes it can get very boring. So yeah, in the Telegram group, in the Bitcoin Telegram group, it was two guys having fun sending out memes or thumbnails on me and Andy, and it was only fibs, private only fibs with Natalie. It's so funny. I mean, what can happen when you have a bunch of guys in a group? What's the target? On the hour? Ascending triangle in the hour. You know, sometimes, I mean, look at this. I have to look. Is it all... I just have to know, because... Oh, it's that one? Like, I don't know all the names of all of these different... Hey, Andy is here. It's not VRX, and yes, I can look at it soon. Hello, everyone. Hello. Ascending triangle on Ethereum. Give Natalie some likes, guys. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, yes, Andy. I do believe Bitcoin will drop lower, but I do believe that when we are coming to 39,000 or 38,000, we obviously have to see what the market will do against it, because that is the previous resistance that we did have. So no, I no, there was someone talking about ascending triangle. I can't see that. Maybe I misunderstood the whole thing. But yeah, if the market comes back down to the previous to this previous resistance, I do believe we have to wait and see what it's doing. And if Bitcoin's breaking the resistance, the next zone that we're having, the next target is 31,000, around that area, because the market moves from zone to zone, or that's how I see it. So that's what I do believe on Bitcoin. But if we're gonna continue on Ethereum, and if we can take the Fibonacci also on Ethereum, and you can see that using the Fibonacci with the support and resistance zone is very good, because that also shows you that you're having two confirmations that that specific area is very respected, because when you're having a support and you're having the Fibonacci together, it's just a strong zone for the market to come back to. And if you are using the Fibonacci in the correct way, you can see that the market almost every time is coming to these levels and respects it. And it usually comes to these levels and retrace back to, if it's on its way to the upside or to the downside. You trust me so much. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. I'm looking at my phone. That's why I'm looking down, because I have the questions right here, and I want to see if someone TLM. I guess it's this one. Is this the right one? There was someone asking about, oh, Jesus Lord, what's this? Do you guys trade this? Looking at the weekly? Whoa, what happened? If TLM, if this was someone did wanted me to look at this. Well, what do we see right here? Obviously, we are at the support right here. No, I can see that. It's not much data, and it's very, I mean, it looks very, for me, looking at this, you can trade it, but it's really hard. I mean, the market just consolidate for so very much. But I'm gonna give you a quick one on this one. So taking the low to the lower time frames, as you can see, this is the target. So obviously, when you're looking at the lower time frames, you want the market to, if I want to find a good sell opportunity, obviously I want the market to break this support that we do have. Oh God, you're so funny, Mark. Well, so yeah, looking at this TLM, I want to see how it looks on the 4 hour. What? Andy, why are you here? Go publish your chart. Everyone is waiting. Well, you better listen to them, Andy, if he's still on this call. Well, well, the market can come up a little bit more, and obviously we can use the Fibonacci on the higher time frames to see if the market comes to a specific area or to the Fibonacci and it's already been there. You can see that we can copy and paste the Fibonacci to the higher time frames. Can you see, even if you take it from the high and you take it from the high to the low, and you'll see how the market how it always comes to the Fibonacci level and respects it. Yeah, I know. Andy did tell you guys to come here, and I'm very happy. It's a lot of people in here, so I'm very happy. I'm very happy about that. Thank you for trusting me and looking at what I'm doing. But to the one that wanted me to look at TLM, obviously what I think you should do right now, it's either wait for the market. If the market comes back up to the Fibonacci level at 0.1605 or 0.1621, if the market comes up here again, you want to see if the market is giving you wicks to the upside, to see that the market is actually not breaking the zone. If you're having huge movement like this, obviously you don't go into the market. I never used the wicks when I'm taking my Fibonacci. I was just taught that way. I've been back testing, and for me, I'm not saying it's wrong using the wicks when you're taking the Fibonacci, but for me, I always take it from the body. I always do that. But so if you see the market coming up here again and you see rejections, obviously you can trade off of that. And around the Fibonacci levels that we do have, you have these high around it. So if it comes, if it's not breaking to the upside, can come back down. If it breaks the support that we're having, you see it comes back down, coming back up and retest the support around 0.1530, I can sell the market. If the market comes back up to the Fibonacci level and you see that the market also is rejecting it, you can look at the second leg. And after that, if the second leg is closing below the first leg, I can definitely see a entry. And your target will be looking at the higher time frames. You can take your first target around 0.1474 because that's the previous low that we do have. And remember, always move your stop loss if you're having more take profits than one. Try to move your stop loss. Don't move your stop loss too quick, because obviously that's something a lot of people can do, and especially when the market is moving so much, you need to have the room for the market to move, so you're not getting stopped out directly, and after that the market just continuing to the take profit that you did have. So that's why you need to relax. You need to take your time with moving your stop loss. And it's very good moving your stop loss when the first target got hit, because at that point you are in profit. And if the market comes to your stop loss, obviously you're moving your first stop loss to your entry, and after that, if you get stopped out, that's okay, because you already made some profits. You made the first target one get hit, and that's good. So yeah, you have your targets right here on TLM. Someone else wanted me to look at something. You're talking about so many things right now. I don't think even Andy's here anymore. He cannot even protect himself from you guys right now. Let me see 1 second. Harmony? Is this the one? What's the short name for it? Harmony. It's so many different cryptocurrencies. HMC. HMC. Wasn't that one? Can you give me the... Hey, did she just ignore my comment? What comment? Which one of them? One. Okay. I guess it's against USD. Jofes, is this the one? Okay, this is the harmony that you wanted me to look at. Okay, good. So something that we can think about right now is this resistance that we do have. On the weekly, and that's, we are around that weekly previous resistance at the moment, and we did higher highs and higher lows. You can see right here, high, higher low, high, higher low, higher high. And right now we are at the higher low, but it looks like it's actually breaking it. Yes, Disa, I did go through BTC in the beginning. I can go back to it soon, but we'll take a look at this one first. And we are copying, pasting the support to the lower time frames just to see what we are doing. And let's see. Give me a second, guys. I just need to look at something. if we are breaking, it looks like we're breaking the high low right now. And it looks like all the other cryptocurrencies, it's just going down. I don't believe that's the Fibonacci we want to have. It's the same thing here. We're taking the Fibonacci from the low around 1.1200 to the high 0.1785 from the low to the high, because you can see on the daily that you had this this is a bad lower high, but you can take it as one because it did come up and then straight down. So we did actually break this. So on the higher time frames, they could just and also as on the other pairs as Bitcoin and Ethereum, I do believe that we are making our higher low right now, because it looks the same thing. It looks the same on every pair. So I do believe that you can still sell the market right now, because obviously we're not done yet, but we are at the Fibonacci level that I took from the weekly, from the daily, sorry. If you want to, if I want to see a sell opportunity, I could definitely use a 0.5727 and 0.1519. And if you see that the market is coming up here, and you see, as I told you before, if you see two legs and the second leg is closing below the previous, that's a good way to entry the market. And if you don't have time, this is a good thing for you guys to use. I don't know if you already know it, but if you are going to bed and if you don't want to sit and look at the charts the whole time, what you can do is that you can take this trend line against the Fibonacci level, and then you are just taking the add alert, and when the market is crossing up, create. So if the market comes to that exactly that area, you will have a notification on your phone, and that's when you're starting to look at what's going on. Because if you have your target, if you have a target you want the market to come to, because that's where you see your that's where you see your entry. Obviously, what you don't want to do, if you're not back testing and stuff like that, but I do recommend not just sitting at the charts and looking and waiting for the market to do certain things, because that's a very easy way of you changing your mind on where you want your entry, because you're starting to involve emotions into the market. And you are obviously, if you're just looking at the market, you want to go into the trade like right away. So you're greedy, you want to earn money, obviously, because that's what we will want to do when we're trading. But if you're looking at the charts the whole time, it's so many things that going through you that I don't even think we are thinking about when we're sitting at the chart. And that's also something that you learn with time, to not look at the market the whole time. You can back test it. That's very good. I mean, back test as much as possible, because that's how you learn. It doesn't matter how many books you read or whatever. Looking at the charts and back testing, that's how you learn. But when you're back testing, obviously you're not looking at what's going on right now. You're going back in time and see, okay, the market moves like this. And and when the market comes to that area, you get a notification that the market is around that area, and at that point you're starting to look at what it's the market doing against this level. I want to lose money when trading. Well, I don't want to lose money. So I think you are the only one wanting to lose money on the market. And if you want to lose money, well, you are at the right place. But looking at Harmony, sorry guys if I just start talking about something else, but you have your target around here. Look at it. You also have a previous support. If it comes back up and retest it, that's very good. And if the market breaks this Fibonacci level, the next target you'll have is the previous support around 0.1204. So it's very good looking at that. Remember how I trade from zone to zone. So when this zone is broken, because this is previous support, you'll have the next zone, and that's the previous, no, that was the, you have the support right here, and this is the next support that the market can move to if the market breaks the Fibonacci level, doesn't respect it. VRX. Oh, he already did that? Oh, okay. Infogram. Okay, what I do believe, well, we very... It's just going down. It's really going down. But to have in mind right now, you can see that on the daily, we do have all of these wicks, right? And we are... So where the market is right now, we are at a support. And if we see that the market will break the support, when I'm bullish, market goes down. When I'm bearish, it goes up. Well, that's a common issue that we all have in the beginning when we're trading. You're buying when the market is going down and you're selling when the market is going up. Something that you need to understand is market structure. And you need to understand that only using one time frame, that's one of the main issues that you are losing your money, because you don't know what the trend is. And a lot of times you are trading inside a consolidation, and when the market is consolidating. Is this the right one? Okay, good. Okay, so what you can see right here, obviously, we have the huge support right here. And why is it a support? Well, we have been here before. We have the wicks. It broke it, came back up, retested it as a new support, and right now we are here again. But I mean, it looks so funny. This is hard trading. It's really hard but right now what we are doing is that we are just moving sideways. So obviously we want the market to either break to the downside or to the upside. Obviously, looking something like this or like this. Okay, it is. And even on the lower time frames. So we right now we're just moving sideways. Call it whatever, but this is for me a side. The market is in a range right now. So if you want to see sell opportunities, you want the market to break the previous support, coming back up again, retest it. And your target will be looking at the higher time frames. Your target can be around 0.8551 because that's the previous low that we did have. And if it's breaking that low, you can take it. The next target will be 0.6681. We can go back and see what's happening on Bitcoin. I want to see what's going on. And for the people that, if you missed my analysis in the beginning of this live, I have the target for 19535 and 42040, and that's the Fibonacci level that I'm having, because if the market comes back up and retest it, that's also a new sell opportunity. Because looking at the weekly, I do believe we will continue down to 39,000. That's what I do believe will happen. And after that, we need to take it step by step. And if it's breaking 38,000, the next target we'll have is 31,000. But obviously it's it's a lot of things that will happen in between there, because right now I'm looking at the higher time frames, looking at the daily. We are in the Fibonacci level right now. So the smart thing to do right now to not confuse us, and this is one thing, if you are a scalper or if you're not looking at the bigger picture, if you don't understand that we are inside of this Fibonacci level right now on the higher time frames, and you're just going to continue to sell the market, and at around 40730 the market starts to come to the upside, and now you're like, why is not the market continuing to the downside? And as someone did talk about that, when he is selling, the market is going up, and when you're buying, the market is going down. This is one of the main issues, because right now, yeah, we are selling the market, because the market is in a downtrend right now. We can all see that we are making lower highs and lower lows. And if you're continuing selling right here, and then from nowhere the market starts to go to the upside, and you're like, what the hell, the market is on its way down, but right now it's on its way up, because you're not looking at the overall picture. You're not looking at the higher time frame. On the higher time frames, we are in a very, very, very respected area. So for the market to start to breaking to the upside, that's something that we can expect, because on the overall picture we are in this. I told you guys that I do believe that we are making a higher low, because we are retesting the Fibonacci right now. So if you see the market coming back down to the 50% of this Fibonacci level that I do have, and you start to see that the market is starting to break to the upside, that's because we are in the Fibonacci level. It can come back down more to the resistance that I was talking about on 39,000. It can come back down here, and then you start to see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. But if you're not looking at the overall picture, you will not understand what the heck is going on in the market. And that's why a lot of people are losing their money, because they don't know about these zones. They don't know that we are at a support zone or resistance zones on the higher time frames, because you are just looking at the lower time frames. The lower time frames is the best to find your entries, but you're looking at the high time frames, right? Right? I'm just looking at your comments, guys. And we can see that Mark, Joseph, and Infogram is very active. Guys, you're funny. You make me laugh. But something, just don't try to see buy opportunities just because you think the market, you want the market to go up. Don't do that. Look at when the market's starting to break to the upside. That's when you are looking at when you're changing your mind of not looking at sell opportunities anymore. You're starting to look at buy opportunities. So yeah, coming back down to 39,000. Is there anyone else, something else you want me to go through? XRP, did I go through that? I don't think so. It's the same here, guys. It is the same thing right here. NKN. Also right here, I do believe you have to look at this previous support that we do have right here. And you can see that the market is going down to it right now. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see that we do have this support also. That it seems like it's breaking. And if it comes back down, comes back up and retest it, that's a good opportunity to sell the market. But that is only if it's breaking and retest it. But what can happen also is that the market is actually going to retrace back up a little bit. And I'll show you soon on Ethereum. You'll see that around 0.2887 and all the other numbers, and 0.29224, yeah. The 171,454. You can see if the market comes back up here to the Fibonacci level, respect it, and then you'll see continuation to the downside, or you see the market is having 2 rejections to it. Very good opportunity to sell the market. Looking at the lower time frames, combining with the higher time frames Fibonacci level, you can also see that you do have the resistance right here on the lower time frames, where the market can come back up to and retest it. You can also you have these zones right here that the market can come back up to and retest also, and then continuing to the downside. Oops. But because we are so low right now on this pair, I do believe you want the market to retrace back up, and then you'll have a good opportunity. This is the cup. This is the cup. This is the handle. Looking at SOL. Looking at SOL, just the same thing there. You need to focus on this low right here, 124.345. Oh, Wayne is here. Hello, Wayne. I'm very happy to have you here. Looking at SOL. So when the market is moving sideways like this, sideways, sometimes it can be very hard. This is also a very good opportunity to lose your money because we really don't know what the market will do. Because you can see right here on the 4-hour chart that we are just moving sideways. But if you do believe, if we see that the market will continuing down to the support that we're having, you have the support right here that the market can come back up and retest, because you can see that we do have a candlestick to the upside right now, and having the Fibonacci from 135.750 to the low 1.3.47, the market can have its pullback up to the Fibonacci level, and after that we might see the continuation to the downside, and you can have a target around 123.625. You can also use these as targets at 129.145, 126.275, and 123.900. So that's the target you can have. But it's really hard right now, as I told you, to trade, because even on the higher time frames, we don't have clear higher highs or higher lows, or low lows or highs. The market is just going down. So it can be very hard trading that. But you can also, looking at the higher time frames, you can see that we did have a previous support right here. So if you see that the market is retracing back up, and you see the market react to 138.655, you can also see it here on the lower time frames. If it's breaking the Fibonacci level, if you see huge movement to the upside, this is the next target that you can look at to see if the market's gonna react to it, and then make another lower high, and then continuing down. And someone wanted me to look at Ethereum again. I know some of you have already seen my analyze on Ethereum. But the target that I have on Ethereum, if I want to sell the market on the lower time frames. Bye bye, Joseph. Thank you for watching this live with me. Thank you so much. Thank you. No problem. So the target for Ethereum can be 291.0.05. If you see the market coming up here and react to it, and react to it. I mean, it shows you candlestick patterns that shows you it's on its way down. But you can see here also that we are just moving sideways, and we are in the Fibonacci level right here on the weekly. No, but I do believe we will continuing down because you have this huge candlestick to the downside. And I do believe we will continuing down, but obviously going to the lower time frames, that's how we find our entries, because looking at the higher time frames, there is no way you can find an entry looking at this. So the market can continue. The market needs to come back up again because we're so low right now, and we want to see the market come back up because we want to sell as high as possible. Is it that one? Infogram? Oh, hot. Yeah, Infogram, but I need to look at some other things too. Is this the right one? Vitaloin? Okay, good. Yeah, I have that one here. Where I did learn TA, I was sitting at the I sat looking at the charts for 4 years. That's how I learned my TA. For 4 years every day. I swear to God, I've been looking at the charts every day for 4 years. That's how I learned to do my TA. And obviously using market structure, price action. That's good. And is very good at what he's doing. So you are having a very good mentor. Looking at this pair, we are at the support. It doesn't have to take 3 years more. It doesn't have to take as long as it did for me. It depends on how much you are sitting, how good you are at taking in things. But obviously trading is very hard. It takes time. It needs to take time. But it doesn't have to take that many years. Thank you. So looking at this pair, as I told you, we are at a support right now. And to sell right now is not a good idea because the market is at the support. So what the market can do right now is that the market can continue up because we are also moving sideways right now. So what the market usually, I mean, we all know when the market is moving sideways, it just looks like this, right? So if you're selling at the bottom right here, the market goes up. If you're and if you're buying at the top right here, the market goes down, right? So it's really easy to lose money because when you are in a sideways market like this, because you don't know if it's an uptrend or if it's a downtrend. The market just going sideways. So obviously what we want the market to do for a good sell opportunity, we need to have the patience and see the market coming up to the resistance again. And if the market comes back up to the resistance and it shows us that it's closing maybe below this previous higher low, lower high that we do have here, that's a good way to see if you have the sell opportunity. But but as I told you, I use the Fibonacci. So this is a good area because you can see that we are combining that with the previous resistance, also having the Fibonacci right here. Looking back, you can see that the market has been here before, not so many times, but you do have the wick to the downside and it did respect it. And you see right now, so the market came down and right now we are respecting the support. So you can see movements to the upside, but just because you see movements to the upside doesn't mean the market it's on its way up. It's just making the pullback. So your target to look at sell opportunities will be around 0.008348 and 0.008506. And if we can try to combine that with the lower time frames, you can also see that we do have you have the support right here. You have a previous support on the lower time frames. And you also have a resistance right here. So I would say don't stress right now to sell the market. You can, if you want to, you could definitely scalp the market to the upside if we see continuation. If you see that the market is breaking, because right now we are in a downtrend, but if you start to see that the market is moving its way up with higher highs and higher lows, I could definitely see, you have your targets on the high lows, right? And you can take it from the low to the high. Obviously right now we don't have data for it, so I cannot say that this will happen. But if you're using the Fibonacci from the low to the high, from the lower high to the higher high, and you'll see the market coming back down and retest the Fibonacci level. It's a good way to scalp the market to the Fibonacci level that we do want the market to come to. So right now we are at the support. If it breaks the support and comes back up and retests it as a new resistance, obviously that's a good way for you to sell the market also. But you need to have a clear breakout and a retest so it doesn't look like this, because this is a fake out. So if people use this as a support and they sold the market when they saw this candle, they got faked out because the market just came right back into it again. Guys, are you understanding how I see the market? Is it easy for you to follow me when I'm talking about it? Thank you, Roland. Have a good night. Sleep tight. Good. Because it's really hard sometimes understanding the market and with zoom out charts. Well, okay, King, I can do that for you. You have the previous support. The market broke it. We have been consolidating here for a while. Looking like this. Looking like this, the market has been going sideways. The market did break the support. Looking at the 4-hour. Looking at the lower time frames. If the market reacts to it and it doesn't want to break the support, you can definitely see movements to the downside. But sometimes when you're having Fibonacci levels, just because the market came to the level like 1 or 2 times, this level can be a very good target for us to still have on the charts, because if the market comes back up to this level, it can respect it one more time. Because as you can see that the market is on its way up right now, so I do believe we can see movements to the upside, and having the Fibonacci on the higher time frames, that's a very good way of not stressing to sell the market. Even if it takes some time before the market comes, because we are having it on a 4-hour, it can take some time. But I do believe you guys rather would wait for it than just stress sell the market or buy the market, and then you're losing the money, because that's not something that we want to do. And when it comes to trading, most of the time, like 80% of the time, we have to wait for the market to come to our zones that we do have. So just something to think about. I know a lot of people want to sell the market or buy the market right now, but I mean, we have to wait for the market to come up here. And as I told you before, everyone doesn't want to look at the charts the whole time. So what you can do is take the trend line to the level that you want the market to come to, take this and create an alert. And when the market is crossing up to that level that I'm having, it will give you a notification to the phone, and that's when you're starting to look at the charts. But on this pair right now, I do believe we will continue to the upside. Looking at the lower time frames, we are just consolidating here too. So it's very easy to lose money right now, and especially when you're not looking at the support, because you don't want to sell at a support. You want to sell at a resistance or at a Fibonacci level, and vice versa. You never want to buy a market when the market is right on the support. Exactly, let the market come to us. So we're just following the market. Obviously, we need to have areas where we can see where the market potentially can come to. But if it comes to that area, that's when we react to it. Or if it's not coming to that area, well, the market is always moving, so it's always gonna go somewhere. So we'll just looking at other opportunities. The market always shows us what it's not always, but most of the time it does tell us what it's doing. So right now, what the market is telling us is that it's at a support, respecting the support right now. So what can happen? Yeah, it can just continue up, because that's what the market is doing. When it comes to a support, and when we are moving sideways, comes to a support, the market bounce off of it, comes back up to the resistance, And what we want to see at the resistance is that if the market is not respecting, if the market respect the resistance, and then it will show us candlestick patterns that shows us it will not continue up, that's when we're selling. Or if it's breaking the support, you always want to sell the market if it's breaking the support, comes back up and retest it. But to trade inside a market that moves like this right now, it's really hard. It's really hard. It doesn't shows us anything. It just shows us that it as a support. What you can do, you can scalp it to the upside and buy the market, but you have to be careful. You don't want to have your take profit around here, because we are not in a uptrend. We are on the downtrend, because you can see that we did have the high, lower low, high low, because it never broke the previous lower high low, came back up, made a lower high, and right now we are at the previous low. You always have to be prepared, because if you're just looking at one thing, if you're always looking at one thing, it's so easy to just, don't see other things. So yeah, it's right. You have to be prepared. The market can do whatever. It doesn't matter if I want the market to go up or if I want the market to go down. You have to follow price. And right now we are at the support. And what can happen? Whatever can happen. It can continue to the upside. It can break to the downside. But we need the break and then the retest. Yes. So right now, guys, this is everything that I'm having for you today. Sorry, I'm actually gonna move, so I have to go. I really want to continue, but I'm moving tonight, so I need to go to the new place. So, But thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video. I'm so thankful for that, and I hope you learned something from me. And we see each other during the week. Okay? Have a good day, good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world.